Well, it's finally time, and I think the first thing we're going to do is take a look and see what's inside the bowl. But I can already say that I really think that the previous owner was pretty honest with me. He had told me that the carb had been rebuilt pretty recently, and that gasket looks really good and pretty new. And this is going to get gas everywhere. Let me actually, let me get some paper towels. Alright, I've got plenty of paper towels here, so we're free to make a mess. Wish these weren't flatheads. Seems like I'm always dealing with these things. Go ahead and take the idle mixture screws out. I'm going to leave the accelerator pump setting alone for the moment. Let's see. How do I get the bowl off? Maybe I have to take apart this accelerator pump. Is that a Phillips? It's Phillips on the back of that. Yeah, I mean that accelerator pump is not bad. I guess let's take the carburetor base off, because I can't get the bowl off right now. There we go. Like I said, I got a kit, so hopefully hopefully we have all the gaskets in that kit. Guess let's go ahead and take this accelerator pump off. So I've got a new one, so might as well use it. But I mean, this one is, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit shot. There we go. It's a newish float, because it's all plastic. So then our float level is actually set by this piece here. So that's how we set our fuel level. Bowl is a little crusty, but I mean there's nothing terrible in there. Yeah, so you can see some of the crusties at the bottom, but she's not bad. Oh wow, the world's tiniest E-clips are holding on the plate above that spring. Those are certainly going to go flying, and getting those back on is going to be literally impossible. Alright, set that aside and take a look at our metering plate. What is this and why is it bent like this? Vent? Yeah, vent. Here's our jets. Let's go ahead and pull the jets out. I see light through it just fine. It doesn't look that bad. You see on the side, 53. This is the size of the jet, probably 53 look down into these bores. Nothing apparent immediately. Kind of want to get the metering plate off and look at the other side. Because, I mean, so far there's been nothing obviously wrong. It's a little bit dirty, but I don't think it'd be dirty enough to cause it to not run without some choke. I've not seen a single thing in this carb that looks like it would cause the problem we're having. I mean, it's a little dirty, but it's not that dirty. Let's get the power valve off. Probably need to get a set of pliers or a wrench for this. These were closer. These have literally been bad at everything I've tried them for, so let's see if they can redeem themselves. Well, it didn't do the magic thing where the gasket splits in two, but the gasket is no longer with us. Well, there you have it. One exploded Holley 2-barrel. Now what do we do? I'm gonna put all these in the parts washer. I have an ultrasonic cleaner now. Finally broke down and bought one, but I don't know if I trust the chemical that's in it to not eat this alive. I've not really tested it much yet. I want to test it on lawnmower carburetors before I start putting stuff like this in it. That's essentially irreplaceable. I mean, you know, you can replace this, but this is the original carburetor that came on the truck. And this thing survived for 59 years, and I don't want to be the one to kill it. So, it might already be dead, you know. Might have to do something about the throttle shaft, you know, put a bushing in it or something. Alright, so I've gotten a couple of things cleaned. Metering plate, throttle plate assembly, injector pump housing, or injector pump, non-injector pump, accelerator pump. Main body of the carb wouldn't fit in the parts cleaner, so I put it in my ultrasonic cleaner, which proceeded to die after like 3 or 4 minutes, so I'm pretty sure it blew a fuse somewhere inside it. I gotta go hunting around, so I'm not gonna mess with it right now. I did manually clean out the bowl a little bit. It's a little bit better. It still looks like shit on the outside, but you know, I don't really care what it looks like on the outside. I'm hoping this is enough. I don't really want to have to do all this again. I do have the rebuild kit, so let me go ahead and open this, and we'll get started with rebuilding. Well, the power valves are different. This one has big square holes, and this one has small round holes. But I'm gonna put the new one in. I mean, I think our issue right now is not enough fuel anyway, so maybe this will flow more, I don't know. This is potentially a very stupid idea, but I mean, I just don't know what to do, because I bought a rebuild kit for a Holley 2300. That's essentially what this is. But it's not exactly a 2300, it's like a 2300 that's been detuned a little bit for lower CFM. I think it's like 265. So I'm gonna get this in here and torque it down. But I mean, it fits, it looks correct. So is that the right way? Did I put that in the right way? Yeah, okay, yeah. Alright, well, yeah, I don't like it, but we're gonna go with that. Run into another snag. The new gasket is different than the old gasket. So, a lot of the holes line up, but not all of them. I'm not sure what to do about this. Let me think about this, I'll be back. Alright, after examining this gasket, the old gasket, and the carb body, I determined that these are compatible. I hope. So we're gonna put it back together and pray. The gasket on the other side is not happy about the vent whatever thing interface there, but it's gonna have to start being happy about it because we're not changing it. So it's gonna go like that. And are you missing any pieces that go in between here? I don't think so. So that's back together. So now let's put the base on. Looks like we have two different base gaskets. So you need to pick the one that more closely matches ours. Alright, I couldn't find the other tiny cork gasket, so I put the cork gasket in the side that was the worst. So now we're going to go about setting this up. So transfer slots are showing way too high, so let's fix that. Okay, so we got transfer slots set. I've already set the idle screws to 1.5 turns out on each. Accelerator pump, I've not messed with the setting. Let me take a look and see what it looks like. It looks pretty good. Okay, I think we might be ready to go ahead and put this on the truck and give it a test, and hopefully things work, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we're still gonna have problems. So anyway, let's do that. Okay, now the real question, do we remove the spacer or do we leave it on? The gasket I have is not made for that spacer. It's made for the surface of the manifold. So maybe take it off. I mean, if we take this off, we don't have a second gasket, so we have to take it off and leave it off. Those studs are probably for the spacer. They don't have threads all the way down, which I wouldn't expect them to, but let me see what this is gonna look like. I think it's like this. Nope. And that's not bad. It's got that unsupported section in the middle, but I don't think it'll matter. Let's put it on there. Just leave the spacer on there. That's a lot. We're gonna run partial choke. And get my throttle return spring on. Get right about there. See if she starts. Okay, looks like we got gas coming out of here. Oh, that poor starter is gonna hate me. So we can get a little bit more choke. I'm not hooking the linkages back up just yet. We'll come up in a minute. Oh, we got more fuel. Where's it coming out of? I hear dripping. Oh, well, she's probably a little bit flooded. Okay, so our fuel level is set too high. Okay. Is that this size? No. Is that this size? Potentially. Okay. Make sure we're running no choke. Okay, wide fucking open throttle. Alright, booster pack's on there. And is that gas? Can't tell. I think it is. Alright. Now we don't want full throttle. Just had to move through all that crap. Okay, so I think that our float is not working correctly. That was sort of what I was trying to do, is I was trying to adjust it to where we get, yeah, so yeah, we got way too much gas in the bowl. So our needle and seat is not seating. Found our problem. I'm an idiot. I'm trying to move this float up. It cannot move that needle up. It's at an angle. Here you go, here's a better view of the action. So I'm gonna crank it a little bit, and I'll put a little bit of brake clean in there so you get fire a little bit. And fuel line back on. Yeah, so we're gonna just do the same thing, but I'm gonna leave the sight plug out. And we're gonna watch for the fuel level coming out of the sight plug. Alright. I can see that from the cab. Expected. My charger's not a fast charger, so I can't really boil batteries. Let me grab jumper cables and keys and move the truck and all that shit, and we'll be back to it in a minute. Alright, I've got my other truck pulled up right on the ass of this truck, and the cables are really not long enough, but I kind of stretched them and made them long enough, so gas coming out the vent. Okay, well, at least it shut itself off. The gas coming out the vent, and now it's pouring in there again. We're still overflowing the bowl. Alright, so it's sort of idling. I think I've got to do some more tuning on it. I think the fuel level might be a little too low now. You'll see the choke's still partially on. Gonna remove this. shake the vehicle and get a little bit of fuel out, we get nothing. So that tells me that I need to loosen this a little bit. There, loosen it a little bit to tighten it, tighten the adjustment, screw it back down. So now, let's crank it a little bit. If you wanted to go, I think we need to crank it a little more than that. Check our level now. All right, so still too low. So we're gonna go back here, loosen it up. Oh shit. Okay. Let's try it again. It idles. It idles a little bit. All right, I mean, it looks like our fuel is right about there. Let's go ahead and shut it up. Just a touch of throttle does get it to kind of idle. I'm going to adjust our curb idle just a hair. I think we're too rich at idle, but I only started the screws 1.5 turns out. I don't know why we'd be that far rich at idle. Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna put them all the way in and see what it does. Alright, so it didn't really seem to make any change. But I know that when I was up here and I had a little bit of choke, I was giving it extra fuel when it was sitting here, you know, not many revs, that it hated it. And it didn't have enough fuel because when I opened it up and sprayed, it actually revved, but it wouldn't rev without that. So let's see if maybe our fuel pressure is still a little high. Okay, we might be a little high. Yeah, we're too high. Okay. That level looks pretty good. Let's see if we can get it to start and run and see if it leaks out of here. If it leaks out of here, then I think that we, well, depending on how much it leaks, I don't think it should leak at all. Maybe a little bit, but not just the slightest bit. It's been quite a bit since I've had you guys here. I've been wrestling that carburetor a lot. I've essentially been slowly taking all of the old parts and putting them back into that thing. I think what finally did it was the power valve. Potentially there were some other things that I did at the same time. I shouldn't have changed multiple variables at once, but the problem it was having is it's running way too rich. Which can be seen from the spark plugs, but I didn't need to pull those to know. Yeah, I think she wants to be a diesel. Problem now is I think that well, I don't think we're quite back where we were yet, where it was just wanting to run on choke. I think I've been trying to determine exactly what's going on with the mixture right now. I think it's probably close at this point. Potentially a little lean, actually. I'm not 100%, but I don't think it was running on all cylinders, and I think that that's actually why it's not idling right now. I reviewed some earlier footage, and I believe the engine was running on all cylinders before I started doing stupid shit to it, and now it's potentially not. But I don't think that that's a carburetor problem, because it's generally not a carburetor problem. At least if the cylinders that are not running are the same, they stay the same. I've not verified that yet. I was doing a little bit of troubleshooting on that, trying to see if it was, you know, a couple of cylinders that just weren't firing. It sounded like the same cylinders because I was getting backfires through the exhaust at a fairly steady pace, and every now and then they go away and then they come back, which generally indicates that there's a cylinder not firing, it's pushing raw fuel into the exhaust. These spark plugs, I don't know the age, vintage, whatever, they're Champion plugs. They're, you know, 100% not original. I think the originals probably would have been plugs you could disassemble and rebuild. Or maybe it's not that old, I don't know. Whatever the case, these are going to be replaced. I'm also going to replace the wires. So there's a multitude of things that we could have problems here with, but because I wanted to be thorough and really definitely 100% know what the issue is and make sure that I don't have suddenly a sticky valve or something else weird, got a compression tester. I think I probably already had one, but I have multiple sets of tools because I lose them. Go figure. But anyway, so I'm gonna probably do the compression test while we have the spark plugs out. Oh wow. Okay. I didn't expect that. I guess maybe they weren't lying about it being rebuilt. It's a lot more than I expected. That's a good thing. Okay, well, that was with the throttle open, so I guess, okay. Well, I'm gonna do this test one more time. Out of curiosity, I did this test without pressing the throttle down. So this is with no throttles. This is not the normal max throttle you're supposed to test with, and I get the exact same result. I've seen the test done before and seen differences between max throttle and you know, no throttle. At least, I mean, I've seen other people on YouTube do it, but I don't know. I'm gonna do the rest of them max throttle, but I'll need to look into this and see if it's actually like a thing or not. Anyway, bring you back once I've done all 8. I should turn the camera on before I unhooked the compression tester, but I've finished testing all of them. I know that I said I was going to write it down and review it with you, but they were all 150, which is really good. I think that previous owner was truthful about this having been rebuilt, and I think he said it only has about 11,000 miles on it since it was rebuilt. I think that they put a lot of the original parts back on. I don't know if it's overboard. I tried checking with my bore scope, but bore scope's too shitty to be able to tell. I can't see anything on the pistons. Could be overboard. I don't know. I don't know of another way to really figure that out, but I think that pretty much everything in here is basically stock. They probably replaced rings and bearings and probably might have reused the pistons, everything. There's good cross hatching still on the cylinders. I'll say it's a little bit more swirly than cross hatchy, which I mean, you get that from the stone style cross hatches or crosshatch or cylinder hones. I like the dingle ball hones, or the flex hones, whatever they're called, because they're they tend to make a better pattern. They don't score the cylinder as much either. But it is good cross hatching. Obviously, it's sealing well. The fact that it's still there and very prominent is a very good thing. So I think that we have a very good engine here. Since all of them had good compression, that tells us a couple of things. One, our rings are good, which is good because I don't want to have to replace rings. Two, our valves are sealing, meaning that we do not have a sticky valve, a burnt valve, or any of the other issues that I thought we might have because of the backfiring issue. Three, I forget what 3 was. But 4, we're just gonna put basically everything back on here. Yeah, I'm excited. This is good news. So I'm going to go about putting spark plugs in and investigating cylinders for markings and getting wiring, or the spark plug wires all going everywhere, and then yeah, I guess I'll bring you guys back. Plugs and wires are in. The wires were a huge bitch. I've left the old ones in for the moment in case any of the ones I made are not good, because it was a custom kit and it was very difficult to put together, and some of them are kind of sketchy, so I hope they work. But anyway, I found some more information while I was digging around last night that said that the initial timing on these engines should be between 10 and 12 degrees, which I was, when I took the timing measurements, it looks like it was right about 0. So I think it actually needs a little more advance, and that actually might make it idle right there. So I'm gonna see if I can't find the bolt on the distributor and loosen it up, and then we can run it and tune it and see what happens. Anyway, bring you back then. Well, would you look at that? I actually didn't mess with the timing at all. I checked the crank, my red mark, I had put it on the wrong side. I put it on the 10 side instead of the 0 side. So it was already set 10 degrees initial advance, I believe. We'll check again with the timing light just to make sure, but can't beat that. New plugs and wires. That's awesome. That's amazing. Okay, well, I think it's time to button everything back up. Maybe take it for a little test drive. See you guys in a minute. I have to say, for what is straight pipe, but with a, I mean, it has a muffler now, I guess, but it's still kind of just shoved on there. In fact, we may lose it on this ride because I've lost it a couple of times just testing the engine. But we're just going down the neighborhood, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, but I mean, this is how it's supposed to sound. You know, nearly as screamy. This nice little burble. Yeah. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of the test drive directly after fixing the carburetor, so here's some footage that I recorded just the other day after I did some more work on the truck, which you'll hopefully get to see with audio in an upcoming video here soon. The carburetor ended up working out pretty well. It is still running maybe a little bit rich. I've been playing with it here and there. I still need to adjust it some. I've been getting pretty bad fuel economy with it, and you can definitely smell it in the exhaust, but it's been running well enough to drive it around. I've done a lot of things to it since this video was made. If you haven't caught on yet, you're about a month behind as far as the progress that I made on the truck. So I won't reveal too many things since they'll be coming in upcoming videos, but it did work out, and it's still on the truck, and hopefully we don't end up needing to replace it. Although I did find out later that the throttle shaft is a little bit more worn than I thought it was originally. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and if you like it, please leave a thumbs up, and maybe think about subscribing so you can see more of this truck in the future. Later, guys.